heart by the cold hand of ambition. And I said I would rather have been a French peasant and worn wooden shoes. I would rather have lived in a hut with a vine growing over the door, and the grapes growing purple in the kisses of the autumn sun. I would rather have been that poor peasant with my loving wife by my side, knitting as the day died out of the sky, with my children upon my knees and their arms about me. I would rather have been that man, and gone down to the tongueless silence of the dreamless dust, than to have been that imperial impersonation of force and murder known as Napoleon the Great. It is not necessary to be rich in order to be happy. It is only necessary to be in love. Thousands of men go to college and get a certificate that they have an education, and that certificate is in Latin, and they stop studying, and in 2 years, to save their life, they couldn't read the certificate they got. It is mostly so in marrying. They stop courting when they get married. They think we have won her, and that is enough. Ah, the difference before and after. How well they look, how bright their eyes, how light their steps, and how full they were of generosity and laughter. I tell you, a man should consider himself in good luck if a woman loves him when he is doing his level best. Good luck! Good luck! And another thing that is a cause of much trouble is that people don't count fairly. They do what they call putting their best foot forward. That means lying a little. I say, put your worst foot forward. If you have got any faults, admit them. If you drink, say so, and quit it. If you chew and smoke and swear, say so. If some of your kindred are not very good people, say so. If you have had 2 or 3 that died on the gallows, or that ought to have died there, say so. Tell all your faults, and if after she knows your faults she says she will have you, you have got the dead wood on that woman forever. I claim that there should be perfect equality in the home, and I cannot think of anything nearer heaven than a home where there is true republicanism and true democracy at the fireside. All are equal. And then, do you know, I like to think that love is eternal. That if you really love the woman, for her sake, you will love her no matter what she may do. That if she really loves you for your sake, the same. That love does not look at alterations, through the wrinkles of time, through the mask of years. If you really love her, you will always see the face you loved and won. And I like to think of it. If a man loves a woman, she does not ever grow old to him. And the woman who really loves a man does not see that he is growing older. He is not decrepit to her. He is not tremulous. He is not old. He is not bowed. She always sees the same gallant fellow that won her hand and heart. I like to think of it in that way. And as Shakespeare says, let time reach with his sickle as far as ever he can. Although he can reach ruddy cheeks and ripe lips and flashing eyes, he cannot quite reach love. I like to think of it. We will go down the hill of life together, and enter the shadow one with the other, and as we go down we may hear the ripple of the laughter of our grandchildren, and the birds, and spring, and youth, and love will sing once more upon the leafless branches of the tree of age. I love to think of it in that way. Absolute equals, happy and free, all our own. But some people say, would you allow a woman to vote? Yes, if she wants to. That is her business, not mine. If a woman wants to vote, I am too much of a gentleman to say she shall not. But they say woman has not sense enough to vote. It don't take much. But it seems to me there are some questions, as for instance the question of peace or war, that a woman should be allowed to vote upon. A woman that has sons to be offered on the altar of that Moloch. It seems to me that such a woman should have as much right to vote upon the question of peace and war as some thrice besotted sot that reels to the ballot box and deposits his vote for war. But if women have been slaves, what shall we say of the little children born in the sub cellars, children of poverty, children of crime, children of wealth, children that are afraid when they hear their names pronounced by the lips of their mother, children that cower in fear when they hear the footsteps of their brutal father, the flotsam and jetsam upon the rude sea of life? My heart goes out to them, one and all. Children have all the rights that we have, and one more, and that is to be protected. Treat your children in that way. Suppose your child tells a lie. Don't pretend that the whole world is going into bankruptcy. Don't pretend that that is the first lie ever told. Tell them, like an honest man, that you have told hundreds of lies yourself, and tell the dear little darling that it is not the best way, that it soils the soul. Think of the man that deals in stocks whipping his children for putting false rumors afloat. Think of an orthodox minister whipping his own flesh and blood for not telling all it thinks. Think of that. Think of a lawyer for beating his child for avoiding the truth, when the old man makes about half his living that way. A lie is born of weakness on one side and tyranny on the other. That is what it is. Think of a great big man coming at a little bit of a child with a club in his hand. What is the little darling to do? Lie, of course. I think that Mother Nature put that ingenuity into the mind of the child, when attacked by a parent, to throw up a little breastwork in the shape of a lie to defend itself. When a great general wins a battle by what they call strategy, we build monuments to him. What is strategy? Lies. Suppose a man as much larger than we are, as we are larger than a child 5 years of age, should come at us with a liberty pole in his hand, and in tones of thunder want to know who broke that plate. There isn't one of us, not excepting myself, that wouldn't swear that we had never seen that plate in our lives, or that it was cracked when we got it. Another good way to make children tell the truth is to tell it yourself. Keep your word with your child the same as you would with your banker. If you tell a child you will do anything, either do it or give the child the reason why. Truth is born of confidence. It comes from the lips of love and liberty. I was over in Michigan the other day. There was a boy over there at Grand Rapids, about 5 or 6 years old, a nice, smart boy, as you will see from the remark he made, what you might call a 19th century boy. His father and mother had promised to take him out riding. They had promised to take him out riding for about 3 weeks, and they would slip off and go without him. Well, after a while that got kind of played out with the little boy, and the day before I was there they played the trick on him again. They went out and got the carriage and went away, and as they rode away from the front of the house, he happened to be standing there with his nurse, and he saw them. The whole thing flashed on him in a moment. He took in the situation, and turned to his nurse and said, pointing to his father and mother, "There go the 2 damnedest liars in the state of Michigan." When you go home, fill the house with joy, so that the light of it will stream out the windows and doors and illuminate even the darkness. It is just as easy that way as any in the world. I want to tell you tonight that you cannot get the robe of hypocrisy on you so thick that the sharp eye of childhood will not see through every veil. And if you pretend to your children that you are the best man that ever lived, the bravest man that ever lived, they will find you out every time. They will not have the same opinion of father when they grow up that they used to have. They will have to be in mighty bad luck if they ever do meaner things than you have done. When your child confesses to you that it